was really excited when we found out that we were going to be working on Until Dawn again, and it was a really exciting opportunity to revisit the music for the game. The original score by Jason Graves really brought the game to life, and we were keen to elevate and enhance on the foundations that he'd laid. When we first started this process, Mark's name came up as someone who was doing some really interesting stuff in the horror space.
I tend to steer away from cliche all the time. I try to look for what's needed, but how can I twist that in a certain way to make it hopefully something that you haven't heard a million times before.
He'd done some great work in films like The Lighthouse and The Witch. He found elements from those film worlds that really picked out interesting things from the narrative, and we were keen on doing something very similar in Until Dawn. One of the first things we started looking at when we started on this game was the main theme and how we wanted to update that for the title. You'll hear that from the very beginning, and it will be introduced all throughout the game and at key moments. I think the importance for us was having something that had a real hook to it, that was really identifiable, that you would hear it in any style and in any part of the game, and you would immediately pick up, oh, this is relating to the wider Until Dawn universe.
Did you see this view? I mean, holy cow.
Each environment, we really wanted to create its own musical character that would go with it. So for the mines, the sanatorium, the forest itself, and the lodge, we had 4 different suites that would sit within these worlds that would give each of them a character and their own kind of melodies and sound world, which you immediately knew when you were changing from environments, changing between different characters. It kind of sat you in that place very quickly. You understood where you were because of that musical world.
I try to evoke the feeling of being in these places, like with the mines. It's metallic. It's the scraping of the wheels on the mine car tracks, and it's echoey, so there's more reverb. It's not so in your face. It's more sort of a haunted feeling. Than the lodge would be close. It's indoors in a nice warm cabin, so it's more in your face.
I think one of the most iconic places in the game is the sanatorium. It's got a lot of history to the building, and we had a lot of fun introducing bits of music from that past and making it feel like there was history within the music that was kind of distant memories as you were exploring it.
You guys go ahead. I'm just gonna wait here for a bit. See who else is coming.
One of the things that we wanted to do in this reimagining of Until Dawn was look at character themes and seeing if there's more opportunities to bring in thematic material to represent each of the characters. And that might be a melody, but it also might be something more like an instrument that represents that character.
I think in this score there was probably more of an accent on melodic motifs for all the characters, and that was sort of new to me because I tended to do a lot of broad brushstrokes where you're really scoring the vibe of the overall film.
Wait, okay, so you hear that too, right?
The score was mostly done in the box, so that's basically in my home studio, with not a lot of acoustic instruments performed within the recording of the score. When you're composing, in the box, as we say, there can be a certain thinness to the sound. It's sort of closed in like that. But as soon as you get more players involved, and recording in this beautiful studio, then the whole sound just sort of widens up and becomes larger than life.
With a couple of the sessions we're doing here, we're kind of trying out some more experimental things, and our kind of goal here is to really find some interesting and unique sounds that can really characterize some of the places and sequences within the game. One of the cues even has all of the players blowing across their cellos and double basses, which creates this really eerie, windy sound. And yeah, a lot of those kind of creative effects really help create this kind of eerie, uncanny space, because you're taking the acoustic sound of the instruments, but then kind of manipulating it in a way that you're unfamiliar with, and kind of you get this uncanny valley feel to it. We've got a percussionist coming in who's basically bringing a truckload of interesting and fun sounds, including squeaky hinges and other bizarre contraptions that we're going to be playing around with to make kind of interesting and unique sounds. We set out to create something that was very different from the original and to help score the environment, score the characters, and create a little bit more of an overarching thematic experience for the game. And I think that we've achieved that.
Both Joe and James were just a pleasure to work with. I mean, the team worked together just like the meshes in a gear. It's just been wonderful.
It was amazing to be able to reimagine the score and go on this new journey with it. I'm really excited with how it's come out, and I hope the audience enjoy it as well.
This was all very, very new to me, but very, very exciting. You know, you got to shake up your world now and then. I love experimental sounds because I love to be surprised by what I hear. I wait for the moment where I can go, what the hell is that sound? I've never heard that before. I mean, that's the real spark for me as a composer.
I think Mark's probably the best person to talk about the apprehension engine and all of the bits and pieces that it's got going on that. It's a horrendous sounding, but also awesome sounding bit of mechanical machinery, which is really cool. And some of that's been used in the score to create those really intense and horrible screeching moments, which are perfectly illustrated using that engine.
I got together with a friend of mine. We put our heads together and designed this box that would contain some of the techniques that I've always experimented with. I've spent a lot of time experimenting with EBOs, but doing it in sort of really strange ways. We just have basically one string for the EBO. I really, press it against the pickup and get it to squeal and make very, very aggressive and rude noises. We have 3 strings for the hurdy-gurdy, and I play it with my fingers. And then we have some steel rulers poking out the front, and I use a glass bottleneck slide, and I would use, this is sounding pretty crazy, but I use a nyckelharpa, which is a short little bow, and I'll bow the rulers, giving them a shrieking sound. And then off to the back of it, I have these long steel rods. I call them the whack-a-whack-a rods. So when you flip them up and let them go, they just go whack-a-whack-a-whack-a-whack-a-whack-a-whack-a-whack-a-whack sort of forever. Or you can bow them. And then I have a spring reverb, which is a spring reverb from a guitar amplifier. And I play that with the EBO too, so I'll slam the EBO into it and get that to howl and squeal and give me sort of industrial sounds.
Sometimes these things can be a little scary, even terrifying, but I'm here to make sure that no matter how upsetting things may get, you will always find a way to work through it.
I am Hayden Panettiere, and we are here at the studio recording Until Dawn.
My name is Rami Malek, and I play Josh.
My name is Megan Martin.
My name is Brett Dalton.
My name is Antonella Lentini, and I played Hannah and Beth.
My name is Jordan Fisher, and I play the character Matthew, Matt for short.
I'm Nicole Bloom, and I play Emily in the game.
My name is Noah Fleiss.
I am Galadriel Steinman, and I play Ashley.
So Until Dawn is the story of 8 teenagers who revisit this cabin in the woods about a year later after a really traumatic experience where I've lost 2 of my sisters, so coming to kind of get some closure in that respect.
One of the things that Larry does really well is make these multi-layered characters, and I think for just the story in general, it follows the quintessential horror film plot lines, but the characters are so unique in themselves, and I think that's very cool.
Oh, yeah, this was the right thing to do.
What?
you know, getting everyone together on the anniversary. I mean, Josh seemed really pumped about us all doing something, didn't he?
Yeah, no, he definitely did. I haven't seen him so excited about something in forever.
Good, good. Sam and I have a few things in common, such as being huge lovers of animals. And she's a huge animal lover. She's vegan. She is a pacifist. I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna go as far as saying that I'm a pacifist, but she's spunky and cool. I know that she, I think, is made fun of a little bit by the rest of them who think that her morals and her beliefs in that area are a little ridiculous and they don't agree with them, but she doesn't care. It doesn't stop her from being herself, and that's something that I hope I have in common with her.
You know, he definitely can be depressed at some times and a bit of a loner, but he takes some solace in one of his sister's friends, Sam, played by Hayden Panettiere, and invites everybody back to the same house the next year to kind of find some closure.
Jessica she has a whole lot of personality. She is definitely the sort of mean girl character that, you know, at school she knows she's pretty, she knows that boys like her, and she's gonna use it to her advantage.
He's got a big heart, and you can tell that that's very evident, especially how he treats his girlfriend, Emily, and you know, he's kind of a meathead, but in the best way possible.
She really knows what she wants, and she manages to get that from whomever it is, whether it be Matt or Mike. You know, she's really driven, and I can definitely relate to that.
My character is Chris, and he is what society might consider the nerd of the group, and he kind of embraces it.
Ashley she's a little more serious than some of the other girls. She's definitely very intelligent and thoughtful. She kind of looks at the whole big picture of things. She's not quite as geeky as Chris, but they connect in a lot of ways.
Mike is like big guy on campus. He's the class president who has some charm and has a brain, and I don't know, people seem to like Mike. He gets away with a lot though. He can be kind of jerky.
The fact that he really just kind of wants everyone to be happy, and he's a people pleaser, and I can definitely attest to being, you know, that guy. I'm always the friend that wants everybody to be happy and wants everybody to be taken care of, and that's definitely Matt.
But also, like, this character is just so fun. I rarely get to play the bitch, and so it was really fun to do that.
The spirit of things, seriously, what's wrong with you?
I'm just trying to lighten the mood, Em. Don't be like that.
Like what?
The way you're being. You always get like this.
I just think this is just the coolest thing to be a part of, and I just think it's going to take the world by storm. I really do. I think this genre is the wave of the future, and I think that once people see the potential behind it, of getting to interact with the drama that you're witnessing unfold in such a realistic way, that this is how entertainment's going to be from now on.